So, right now I'm going to talk about an amazing book. Its name is Frankenstein. Frankenstein is a novel which was written by Mary Shelley and was published on March 11, 1818. But let me tell you that this amazing book has 24 chapters. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about this book. Okay, this novel is located in the Europe in the century 18, where the Captain Robert Walton rescues Victor Frankenstein because he was about to drown, and Robert Walton writes some letters to his sister Margaret, telling the sad story of the Victor. Also, the genre of this book is not only horror, but also it is a science fiction. I consider that this story that Mary Shelley introduces us talk about the dangers and the consequences because Victor combines his ambition with the science, provoking him a fatal end. So, Victor uses all his knowledge in order to create a new being, but he doesn't think about the impact or the effect that this thing can cause. Victor doesn't reflect that if he plays to create life, it will affect all his family, for that the science used incorrectly can be dangerous not only for us but also for all society. Another important point is that this story leaves us a meaningful message. But what does it mean? This means that this book shows us the danger of defying not only the laws of life but also the laws of creation, or in other words, the divine laws of God. Due to He is the only one who has the power to create life. We have to be careful at the moment of use technology or science because we already know that it can generate negative things that later we can regret and it will be too late. In my personal critic, I believe that Mary Shelley wants to transmit us a moral because nowadays people would like to be like God through science, technology, and the knowledge that they have, ignoring all the consequences that their action can trigger toward their fellow man. Now, let me talk about the vocabulary. For me, this vocabulary is a little bit complicated because the author uses advanced vocabulary. Okay, let me present to you some examples. The first one is dauntless, which means without fear or discouragement. The second example is poignantly, which means very touching, keenly distressing to the mind or feelings. Okay, the part that touched me the most my heart is when Frankenstein killed to Elizabeth in order to get revenge on Victor. We already know that this story is so sad because at the end Victor is alone and finally he dies. Okay, the part that I don't like is when Victor creates a new being, and after that he left him because Frankenstein is a monster. Later Victor is sick, but the most painful is that Victor can't speak with nobody about the monster that he has created. To sum up, we mustn't play with life because life is not a game, so we have to make a good use of technology, science, and even with our knowledge because we already know what could happen if we use it incorrectly. Okay, it has been a pleasure to talk to you about this wonderful book. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and goodbye, take care.